We're four different people, and we all have different tastes, and it's just kind of about the chemistry of, you know, where it meets in the middle. And it's, there's enough consideration and respect about, you know, trying stuff and actually trying to excite each other in an experimental way that it's very rewarding.
It is satisfying just to know that we were, like, had the strength and I guess the courage to maintain a relationship with each other. Because, I mean, it's tough. It's tough to stay married just with a person for 10 years, let alone stay married to 3 people, you know, for 10 years, you know. It's hard. We've had one change along the way. But it's all worked out, you know, and
Worked out for the better.
yeah.
Having a lot of respect for each other, really respecting each other's ideas, and keeping that in mind.
But I think keeping, you know, that white-hot vision of the end product in mind, it's worth suffering through each other's, you know, pet peeves and all that stuff, you know, if you know what the end product is going to be, and that's so rewarding, you know. That's why we're still together. If that wasn't there, we would have kicked each other's asses ages ago and broke up or whatever, you know.
People make their own choices. That's bottom line. I think, to me, it's kind of like those kind of frustrations, that kind of social frustration that comes about, people lashing out. It's because of unaddressed aggressions, repressed emotions, that kind of stuff. So to me, when you see some movie about somebody just doing some horrific deeds, in a way, by watching the movie, you have related to and expressed that emotion or that desire, and therefore you don't need to go do it. And kind of like, it's like, you know, kind of letting the steam out in a way. But the more you repress it and deny it, the more it's going to come up somewhere, and it's not going to be pretty when it happens, and it'll be real when it happens, rather than just, you know, a book or story or a film or a song. So I think it's important, because it doesn't, you know, we have all those nasty things that you read about or come up with or see in a film or hear about in a song. Those are in you, and if you deny that those things are in you, they're gonna bite you. They seem to be more intelligent.
Yeah, they're really passionate, but they're not as, you know, knuckleheaded, you know, as the fans here, which I consider myself knuckleheaded. So it's just a lot more like they're going nuts, but they're still really respectful at our shows, you know.
We see diversity in the crowds, that's for sure. You know, but it does have a good communal vibe, it seems like, at most of the venues we've been to, and it's worked out really well so far. We don't want to end up in any crazy incidents, you know, that have happened at some of these big festivals, you know, where people are getting crushed or something, you know. But it hasn't ever gone that direction all with us, so it's good. I'm really happy about that.
So, how does Tool command such a devoted following?
Well, we set the precedent right away. Our music isn't necessarily something that you just put on and tap your foot to. It's definitely more of an interactive process. So right away, the entire fan base that we've developed over the last 10 years, it's been those kind of people, and it kind of spread out from there. So we set the precedent initially. It wasn't about jumping up and down to some catchy phrase. It was about connecting with the music, listening, and respecting these people as artists, and listening with an artist's ears. So, I would say the majority of our crowd they're artists in their own way. So they have respect for what we do. They're very forgiving. They listen with their hearts, rather than just show up like cattle because you get a free toy with this Happy Meal.
I think we're all pretty optimistic about where humanity's going. It's going onward and upward, at a snail's pace, but I think it is going the right direction. It just takes a while, but if you look back, you can see we're in a better place now, I think, than we were. The conservative weirdos, are trying to hold everybody down. in the 50s were a lot worse than the people who are trying to do that now. You know, a lot more things you get accepted all the time, and people are communicating a little better all the time. The net of communication all over the planet is getting better, and it has to, or we won't survive. You know, people have to become aware of the problems, and then hopefully it will get solved, you know, but I don't think anybody wants to commit suicide, you know, and all it takes is awareness to prevent that.
If you're trying to raise a family, it's a bad place. But if you have a vision, there's a lot of resources here to, you know, see that vision through. So it's a good place for that. Other than that, I wouldn't recommend it.
Pretty much everyone here is here to work. You know, it's just a working environment. And the whole town is set up around this entertainment industry, and you know,
the weather's nice.
Sorry?
The weather's nice.
Yeah.
That, and just, you know, you got to figure if people like us weren't doing it, who would be? You know, you kind of have to like stay here just to at least represent your ideas, because otherwise, you know, the mediocre stuff will just march in to take your place, because there's only so many magazine covers, so many video shows, you know, so many spots on MTV, so many spots on the rack at Walmart, you know. So they're gonna fill a hole. So if nobody's representing some higher ideals or really trying to push the art to a new level, it doesn't matter. Somebody's gonna fill in the space, and it'll be mediocre. So somebody's gonna do it. It's kind of hard to really put those things in a category of band. It's more like you almost have to, if there was like another Billboard
Are they a
chart.
boy band?
No, they're like Slip Biscuit or whatever that stuff is. There should be like a separate Billboard chart that has to do with clever marketing plans. You know, so like McDonald's be right up there with McNuggets. Then like, you know, those bands you mentioned would be up there. That's how they should be rated. That's that kind of a chart. It shouldn't really be. They should really be on a music chart. It wasn't so much really a 5-year wait. It was, you know, we made a record and we toured on it for about 2 years. Got into some legal hassles. Needed a short break. I started working with my roommate Billy Howardale on A Perfect Circle, and that took off way more than we thought it was going to take off. So I mean, you kind of have to give it, you know, its due. So we just kind of use that as our break, and that was only for like 9 months or a year. So the actual break that we took was when I was off with Perfect Circle, and then we got right back to work, and the record's done.
We're keeping busy in our different ways. You know, we all have projects we have working on. You know, I mean, Adam's doing nonstop art. You know, and I'm always jamming with different friends and whatnot. You know, but I mean, 5 years is a while. You know, when it goes by, and I think if anything, we probably just learned a lot more about each other and how to get along and keep the band together. You know, this is a lot more than all of our contemporaries did, pretty much, who started out the same time as us. Rage, Helmet, Soundgarden, Nirvana, you know, pretty much everyone from that era is gone now except us. You know.
We kind of pulled the secret maneuver that none of them really did. Which is like a process of communication. There's a whole band dedicated to the idea. It's called Circle Jerks. We all just got naked and worked it out.